Hey, welcome to Fill Me Up. I'm excited to see you, Nikki. Haven't been around you in a whole entire ass week. And I want to talk about filling ourselves up with God, spirituality, spiritual principles. And I want to talk about how not to fill up on dicks, dollars, and donuts anymore.
Ooh, yeah. Some of you like to fill yourself up with money, food, things. I mean, do you know how many hoarders I know? They're like, Nikki, I'm sober. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. But no one can come over to your place.
My father lives in a couple square foot radius of his home. Everything is stacked up.
Yeah.
He's an untreated addict.
That's what it is. It's like, oh, no, I'm sober. No, you're not really sober. You're hoarding 91 A1 sauces when you die and your aunt has to clean out the closet, but he's sober. No, I'm sorry. They're not. So I want to fill myself up with kindness. I want to fill myself up with the truth really, and the reality. Cause a lot of people are in fantasy land right now.
People are in straight up delusion. So tell me on that note, how was your week?
It was filled with delusion. I had Mr. Luxembourg here, and that's my boyfriend. If anybody doesn't know, hi, I'm Nikki, and God gave me a long distance relationship. Now, I wouldn't have signed up for that, but almost 8 years later, am I grateful for it? Yes. Is it a challenge? Definitely. Was I filled with delusion this week? Yes. It's easy. It's like, I forget who I am. And then I get into thinking I'm the director of everyone's life.
So that's a really interesting concept. Like, I forget who I am. A friend of mine used to say, I love our friendship because when I see you, I don't think to myself, oh, there's Jessica. I think there I am because he could be himself in front of me. And that's how I feel about you, right? When I see you, I become the complete relaxed version of myself because I can be completely myself around you, which is a huge relief because I can't do that out there in the normal world as much, right? And so when I'm going through life, not around my people as I have to do, I'm kind of like, who am I to this person?
Well, that's interesting because it says in our book, we study a book, right? I don't know. There's lots of books to study, but our programming tells us we are in the world to play the role that God assigns. Now, in my book that we study in our book, I put a caveat on every sentence that says for today, like today. So Ooh. I'm in the world to play the role God assigns today. Okay. Like even just setting up today, like now we're here and we're the ladies that do this crazy podcast. 5 minutes before we started, or maybe 10 minutes, my son dropped by. So for those 3 minutes I got to speak to him, I was in the role to play mom, but only for those 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. He's gone. Mm-hmm. You understand? And years ago, I was in the role to play mom pretty much every day. Now it was for only 3 minutes in the last 3 months.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. Like if I'm in real estate, I have clients and then I have a team leader and she's my boss and she's a very, very strong personality. So when I'm serving my clients and my boss, I'm in the role that is subservient. Right?
Amen.
When I'm out there in the world, I have a little bit of a harder edge to me. I'm protective of myself, right? I'm not just shrinking myself to whoever asks me to.
No, because you're in the world to play the role God assigns for that moment.
Right.
So for that moment, yes, you are a servant to those people, to your clients and to your boss. But when you come out, who's your boss? God. So basically, I was just traveling, and when I went into the Caribbean, everyone knows a few weeks ago I was in the Caribbean, and you land in and you fill out the arrival form. Mm-hmm. And on it, they said your occupation. And I put servant of God. And the woman, beautiful. Dominica, I love you. Thank you for having me. She said, I've never seen that before. And I said, well, come on, you're a servant of God. I just see you. And instantly her face lit up because they're very religious people there. They're all for religion and for God of their understanding. And she was really intrigued with this, that I'm a servant of God. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Like, think about, why are you here on the planet?
To serve God and his people. Well, here's the thing. I'm a recovering addict and we studied the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. In that studying, I was told very early on that if I want to not only stay sober, but stay sane. And if I'm insane, I'll drink. So it's a huge cycle, right? I'll drink, I'll do drugs, and I'll die. So I want to live. And if I don't fit myself, like really take myself and fit myself to be of maximum usefulness to others, not myself, then I lose my footing. I fall off the beam.
Yeah, but there's a fine line there about fitting yourself to be of maximum service. And like we talked on another podcast, martyring, managing, manipulating.
Yes. So
right.
Let's dig into that, because I understand what it means to me. But to your point, like if somebody heard, so a lot of newcomers or new sponsees will say to me, so what I'm supposed to just eat shit now? Now that I'm sober, I'm just supposed to let everyone walk all over me. And that's the fine line that you're talking about. So,
yeah, it's a Karate Kid move. So I like to do movie references. Mm-hmm. Now you're young. Did you see the original Karate Kid?
No.
Oh God, that's a movie night we need to do. So we've got a list. We've got that and Eyes Wide Shut and Sullivan Green. We've got a whole bunch of movies we need to see. Anyway, the young boy does all these things. He has to wax on, wax off. He has to do all of this painting for his sensei. He has to do all of these chores weekly, monthly. And he's like, this is boring AF. I'm just surmising it. This is so boring. And the master's just like, wax on, wax off, Danielson. So you've got to do chop wood, carry water, as they say in our program.
Chop wood, carry water.
But then one day something happens. You're having a bad day. You're under pressure. This guy was in the karate meet, and then you've got to pull all the moves together. Okay. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Does that make sense? Let me get it into your dancing, retired burlesque entertainment. It's the stage show time.
Right.
You have to do. So now you've got to pull all your moves together for that stage show. You understand what I mean? All the moves come together for that moment.
Yeah.
So you are chopping wood every day, and then all of a sudden you have to pull all the moves together, which means you have to serve people, but you also have to stand tall as God's people. Mm-hmm. You can't shrink. You have to remember that you're a servant of God, but you have to remember that you are a God. Do you see what I mean? You have to serve the people in front of you, but you have to remember that if it's not helpful to serve them, why are you there?
Okay, so is it helpful? Like, that's a question that needs to be answered. Is what I'm about to say, do, send, spend, fuck, is it going to be helpful to me and to others? Yeah, it feels good to me. Well, but that doesn't mean that it's helpful to all of God's children, including yourself.
Let's go there real quick, because we talked about it for a brief second as we were setting up. 13th stepping. Well, that's helpful. You know, I needed to have an orgasm.
I
my
deserve
needs have
this.
to be met.
I haven't been in.
I'm not using drugs and alcohol. Let me just get off for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, is that helpful? Yes or no?
No, that's a big fuck no.
There it is.
It's just not helpful. So I took the lead of being a police officer yesterday in a situation. And Did
you put them under citizen's arrest?
I put them under citizen's arrest.
I just want to do that one time.
Okay. Because
in a room, outside of the rooms, I want to just put you under arrest.
Well, we talked about this, like Max and I talked about it on the way over here. And you and I, like, remember the ogre situation? You remember that, right?
You mean the guy that looked like Shrek?
Okay. And I was in my,
I
was in my financial sickness.
Yes. And you are so beautiful. You are not a Shrek. Okay.
And I was in my financial sickness. And so motives were not good. Right. And like, that's the whole thing. It's like, check down your list of motives. You know,
why are you doing
why
what
are you
you're
here?
doing?
Is it for money? Because if it's for money, that's self-serving, right? And if it's to get off, then that's also self-serving. And in this case, it was for money. And I don't live like that anymore. You know what I mean? But the point is that sometimes in these recovery rooms, two people can meet that normally would not meet.
Absolutely.
And I have a friend and she's come into the program recently and she's got her shit together. She has a beautiful career and she's a beautiful girl.
Of course.
And some guy out of nowhere just comes up and thinks that he can just date her. Well, he can because she's very ill, right? In that moment, she's very ill. So she's
let's say why she's ill, because her addict life is her only normal one. This is all she knows how to do. Go deeper. Her programming, that's all she knows what to do.
Exactly. Thank you. So one of our addictions, and is validation. So if she's not on drugs and alcohol
Yes.
for the first time, let's just say ever. I mean, most of us, when we first get sober, this is our first month. Let's just use the 30-day mark of like ever being 30 days in a row sober from chemical substances for
Or
years.
sober, say you're not an alcoholic and you've had a glass of wine that week with grandma, but you're sober off controlling, managing, monitoring. You're sober off your food. You're not eating sugar, because there's a ton of addictions out there, if that makes sense.
It totally makes sense. And that's where I'm going with it. So part of her addiction is validation, and it's mine too. And so she's going to need that because she's newly sober and she doesn't quite have a solution yet, which is our way of living, right?
Absolutely.
And so if that's the case and that's what you really need, similar to a person at the end of the night that really needs drugs, and then they're going to go to a random's house that they would never hang out with if he didn't have free drugs, here comes somebody with some free validation.
That's right.
Who
and
really,
endless amounts of validation.
It's unlimited, right? Because
a lot of the rooms, let's just say it, are like sober sex parties. If you've ever been to a sex party, it's just a sober sex party. It's a meat market. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's the reality in a lot of these rooms.
Unfortunately, it is, and it's our job as senior members, so to speak, to explain
Trusted
this
servants.
to people, trusted servants, to explain this to people and to walk them through. So anyway, they were sneaking around and they were fucking, and I lost my shit on him, and. You know, what am I, the sex police now? Like, I don't want to assume that role. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
No, because when people tried to do it to you, you were like,
fuck you.
Fuck you. I can do what I want. But that's
my experience, strength and hope.
It's an ogre. And then you're like, I need the money.
I know. And you have these blinders on. Like, you can't see anything else. So it's just.
Well, it's one addiction at a time, everybody. If you're listening, you have to, if you're a real alcoholic and a drug addict, you cannot touch this stuff again. But let's just say you're not a real alcoholic. Say you're like more like me. You suffer the disease of alcoholism, but drugs and alcohol are not going to kill you. What's going to kill you is your money obsession, your man obsession, because you're throwing out everything for these things, or your food because you weigh 1,000 pounds and you're like, nothing to see here, Ma.
Well, I think one interjection, I think like a good way to gauge this, because people that are watching might be like, how do I gauge this? Like, I'm not hurting anyone. Are your thoughts being overtaken by the blank that you were just talking about?
Boom.
Like, why are my thoughts not in this podcast right now, and then on my drive home on the road, and then with my clients when I'm showing them out? Why are my thoughts in a sex act that happened yesterday? That's not where.
So that's interesting. How can you measure it? Let's give our viewers and our friends
let's
out
give them
there
a measure.
Pie shape, circle. Everyone, you have a pie.
Not a pussy.
Yeah, not a pussy pie, but or a penis pie, as you like. I used to like them. I'm too old for that. And my mind has changed. I'm not even into it. And girls, when you get menopause, it is true. Things do change. But you have a circle shaped pie, like if you're in school, math, okay?
Yeah, math school.
How much of that pie, that piece of that pie is dedicated to God? And when I say that to God, how much of that pie shaped chart is dedicated to being responsible, to thinking, is this going to be helpful, not just in this moment, but in the long run? Keep going deeper. Is this kind? Is what I'm thinking honest? Like, how much of your pie-shaped chart is shaped and focused on that? Or is it, what am I getting later? What's he going to wear? What am I going to wear? How much is he going to give me?
Where is this going to go?
Where is this going to go? Or you're starting to get the drip because you're imagining that line of cocaine coming to you, or you're imagining what you're going to, like what panties you're going to put on at dinner tonight, or if you're even going to wear panties tonight. Like, where is your mind in that circle chart?
So maybe
75%?
75%
is on what?
Should be right here in the present moment, as far as I'm concerned. Like,
yeah,
I might need 25% to think ahead a little bit, but if I'm not in the moment where God is, may you find God now, to reference our book. Like, I don't need, if I contain my thoughts to the present moment, I don't need to think so hard about how I'm going to get into those spiritual principles that you just mentioned, because I'm just going to. Like, I'm going to want to be kind and loving towards you because I'm sitting here with you. Now, if my thoughts start to trail on how much money I'm going to make later, does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. This is so radical. And that's why people are lost right now. Remember, we just did a podcast on MAID and how they want to give it for psychological problems. Like, this is nuts, because if we get into 2 or more people talking about the great reality, which is we don't need any more money. That's why we're doing the podcast here from my home. Like, there's nothing missing. What else do we need?
There's nothing in this moment, as Crackhead Carl would say.
Yeah. What is missing in this moment, Jess?
Nothing.
There we go.
I miss him. And so what else happened this week? So somebody from a friend group, like a previous friend group, passed away suddenly. Bad bag of coke. So let's talk about it. So when I dug deeper into the details, because I am a gossip and I do like to know the details.
Spiritual gossip is what I like to call it, but it's gossip. Go on.
So I was speaking at a meeting. I was asked to speak at a meeting in our program. We do service. And I was sitting there thinking, this is a great example. I was not in the present moment. I was sitting there thinking, I feel good this week and I've made money and I'm feeling pretty recovered. Why the fuck did I agree to this? I'm tired. I want to kind of go home. Right? Like, because somebody had mentioned that it was a 90-minute meeting. And I was like, what? So then I started doing the math in my head. So now I'm not present and I'm thinking, oh God, I have to be here till 9. And like, I've been working really hard, which is like a new thing for me only in the last 5 years. I didn't work. Okay.
I know you're a divorcee and I just love that.
I mean, amongst other things, but I always had money and I didn't work. So you guys can do the math on that. So
you did work, but it wasn't in the conventional way. Go on.
It wasn't in the conventional way. And it gives me a lot of purpose and to do a job and show up and do it and follow through, even when the rewards are not
Imagine
immediate.
You're helping people find a place to put their head every night.
Just being self-supporting. Like,
so great.
The details of the job aside. But so I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, I have to be here until 9 o'clock. Like, this is crazy. And then I'm scrolling on Instagram because the meeting hadn't started yet. And I got a message from one of my girlfriends, Ashley, who's like my ride or die through my whole stripping career. And after that, and she's found sobriety in her own way. She's married, beautiful guy, they have a beautiful life.
Awesome.
So she just said to me, like, did you hear about Felicia? And I was like, no. And she sent me the obituary and she just was like, I'm so grateful that we're sober. And I'm like, thank you, God. Yes. And I realized in that moment why I was there, because I'm there because I'm not that far away from my addiction. Right. And so I said, what happened? And she said her and her boyfriend got a bad batch of coke and did one little line of it. And her cousin found them both dead in her apartment.
Yep.
Okay. So
and that's a headline every day across, I'm going to say definitely America and Canada.
It should be, but it's not. I don't remember reading that anywhere on CP24, which not.
Well, because they have to put out the Hanka virus, the mouse virus, and get everyone in fear with the fear porn. That kind of fear porn.
Thank you.
Because they're too busy putting up their safe injection sites and they're too busy co-signing this drug addiction lifestyle that funds. Oh my God, that's a whole nother topic.
Well, okay, so let me get into it because I'm going to share something with you. That's why I'm looking at my phone. So when I got home, I spiritually gossiped. I shared it with another one of our friends that would know this person.
Okay.
And
is that spiritual? Let's stop though. Is that spiritual gossip, or is that our past is our greatest asset? Our friend is dropped dead from a bad batch and we need to wake up.
We need to wake up. We need to be aware. And so I shared it with someone this is such a beautiful circle of life. So I shared that information. So my friend who's sober also shared it with me, made a comment that she's grateful that we both got sober, that we connected. That's God right there in that moment. It's like, Absolutely. That's this connection. Now I'm sharing it with someone who just is getting sober. So 3 weeks ago, this could be them because they're like only a month in.
Absolutely.
So now I'm like, here you go, Amy, you need to wake up. Like, look at what happened to Felicia, right? And she's like, oh my God, like, are you serious? Because this is a girl that looks like us, is like us on the outside, and she's fucking dead, okay?
Bye, Felicia.
And so shit. And so, and then someone else had said to me, well, yeah, did you hear that a bunch of people overdosed on Friday night? It's on the news. And I said, no, bitch, I don't watch the news. What the fuck do I look like looking at CP24? Yeah. So I opened up the news and it was on there. Toronto Public Health issues drug alert after rise in overdose incidents. So this was put out on Friday. Toronto Public Health has issued a warning to the public after an increased number of overdoses in the downtown area on Friday. Now, do you know how many how many of those would that have to be for them to make a headline? Because there's already a bunch of overdoses.
Oh, there's already like what? I don't even want to give a number because it's too big.
What would the surge have to be for them to put this on CBC? I have no idea.
It has to be that there's not one ambulance, one bed, one fire truck available, and that's why the surge is being reported.
So the warning said reports had indicated that a clear substance like glass may be circulating. So apparently what had happened was it wasn't fentanyl. It was some glass like fucking substance, Nikki. And then here's their advice. You want to hear their advice?
Yeah, I do, because it's all stupid shit.
Toronto Public Health. This is their advice. Try not to use drugs by yourself.
Okay, let's pause as you say, because I need to comment on each one.
Okay.
Try not to use drugs if you're a drug addict, you will use them anywhere. And I don't care what kind of drug it is. I don't care if it's food. You are sitting in your car eating alone through the drive-through with 7,000 tacos in your lap. You're not going to do it with somebody. Wake up, Health Toronto, Health Ontario.
Our friend Desiree, when she was taking me through the workbook and sharing her own experience struggling to help, I'll never forget. She was explaining her food addiction. And I was like, okay, so that's an addiction, because I was early on in recovery. And she goes, yeah. She used to put her man to bed, like blow him, pat his back, whatever. Like, good night.
Give him a little blowjob.
Night. Like,
so she could run to the fridge.
And she used the word buffet. She said she would set up a buffet for herself.
I love food addicts.
And gorge. So anyway, don't use by yourself. There's one.
That's never going to happen. Go on.
Here's the next one. If you are alone, have a plan to have someone check in with you in person or over the phone. Hey, Nikki, I'm going to use drugs tonight. Just can you call me in 12 hours to make sure that I'm still alive?
Comedy hour. Okay, everybody, there's a lot of comedy.
Has anyone ever fucking done that? No.
That's why they're all dead. They can't do it. Wait, like, who's running this government? This is a clown show.
This is a clown show.
And please, we talked about you being mayor. I really need you to consider it, or somebody that we know and love. Let's just use this podcast as a platform and wake up. This is never going to happen. Health Canada. God.
And then you want to know what the last two are?
No, but I want to hear it because it's clown world.
Keep a naloxone kit with you. It could save a life. Fuck off.
And you can't do a
naloxone thing on yourself.
Narcan yourself. Hello,
idiots. And you know what I want to know? Let's dig deep on this, and maybe we'll get into this on another episode. Who's making these naloxone kits? Because the last time I went down a rabbit hole like this, the Fords owned the sticker company that was putting the stickers everywhere during COVID.
And wait, who's the Fords? Doug Ford and his family.
So
is the mayor or whoever the premier at the time, and they were making money off COVID.
Stickers,
a lot of money off stickers.
The stay 5 feet back. So let's
6 feet, because let's say why it's 6 feet. Because we're so magical, we give off a 6 foot aura. Ooh. We have so much magic in us.
Wait a second.
Keeping us 6 feet apart, I can't touch your aura and you can't touch mine. They're not going to tell you that you're a fucking spirit creature that gives off 6 feet of magical energy, you unicorn.
Wow. That is blowing my mind right now. I had no idea
They're
about that.
They're not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you that at Fill Me Up, because you're so filled up with magic and they want to keep you down.
Let's fill each other up with magic. So let's earmark that for later and go down and follow the money. Because if you follow the money on the naloxone kits, let's see where that leads. And if anybody wants to help us on this paper trail, let us know.
Please.
So anyway, so then the last one is this. This is going to be your favorite one. If possible, go to one of the city's remaining supervised consumption sites. Tell for our international viewers what a supervised consumption site is.
That's where you go and they give you the pens and the needles and everything but the drugs to use safely, supervised. And last time I was deep in my addiction, and I don't care what I was shoving and filling myself up with, I wasn't calling anybody to make sure that I was doing it safely.
No.
I was just doing it. Should I have called your wife and say, am I sleeping with your husband safely? Is this how you treat your husband? Come and watch me. Go fuck off, Canada.
Okay.
Sick of this clown world. I'm sorry. Let me breathe. Let me just get centered again. This is crazy train. Get me centered, please, Jess.
I'm going to try. Okay, I'll tell you something good that happened last night. So last night, this is so inspiring. I'll tell you an inspiring thing. I was invited to a comedy show. Our friend Sarma was there.
Hi, Sarms.
Hey, girl. She does a lot of work in our community. Absolutely. I want to thank you for that. So many people walking around not doing fuck all for the community. Like, fuck off. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you got your life back and you're just back and doing something else weird.
I'm not going to name names, but they're friends of ours. So you know who you are if you're watching. And so I got a message saying that my friend Amal, you know Amal.
Yes, I love her.
Would be performing at a comedy event. Okay, this woman is a miracle. She's a miracle. Her smile, just everything. So she took a little comedy course, which is adorable. Like, you get sober and then you have the opportunity to do things that you just never would have got around to.
My harp's right over there. I might play that for you. That's what happens when you get sober. You find magical things you can do, like be a
people
comedian.
People are like, what am I gonna do? Well, I won't be able to drink. Is there anything I can
You're
ever
gonna take
do?
harp lessons. You're gonna take a comedy class. You're gonna get a
Pickleball, volleyball.
I want to play pickleball.
Me too.
Tell me about them all.
So I go, and there's 6. Okay, so every student like is performing, and she was the last one because they made her the headliner. That's how fucking funny she is. And honestly, like, I just tears streaming as soon as she came out, because it's such a miracle. Like, this woman is only 2 years sober from crack addiction and like a life of just like, you know, just debauchery and actually
with her culture too. She's from somewhere
so
Africa,
hear this. So this is actually tied in. So she was female circumcised.
Yeah, she's from one of those
in
African
East
countries.
Africa.
Yes, thank you.
And I can't say it verbatim because I'll ruin it, but she joked about it. Her little 5 minutes that she had, she literally joked about female mutilation. And that is where we turn our pain into purpose. What is our purpose? Our purpose is to use our experience to help others. How can we help others? Making them laugh. Is that helpful?
Yes.
That's a big fuck yeah.
That's a big yes.
Because when I'm laughing here with you, Nikki, I'm not outside thinking about
you're
how
not
much money I'm
covered
gonna
in
make.
shame, guilt, morbid reflection, remorse. You're using it to empower people. Your darkest secrets are going to come to light eventually. So why not use them for your greater good and for others' greater good?
I like what you just said, because I don't think people consider that. Like, your darkest secrets will come to light eventually.
Oh, the truth is, it always comes out, everybody. I mean, the truth is coming out about COVID.
Right.
You just had to be patient.
So what else happened this week? So you are traveling on Friday?
I'm traveling on Friday. So we've got to, get a couple episodes in before I don't really want to go. That's crazy. I have to go.
Well, let's reframe it. What is your purpose for going?
Well, I'm going. My purpose for going is because it's Mr. Luxembourg's mom's 70th birthday.
Okay.
And so we've just spent almost 2 months together and blah, blah, blah. And we do have a long distance relationship, which, as I see now, God's purpose, that's what I needed. Because if we were together all the time, it'd be homicide, suicide. So I have to go and show up as his girlfriend, look pretty on his arm.
So that's the role that God assigned you?
That's the role God assigned. I'm going to be loving because his mother loves me. We don't speak the same language. That's why she loves me. I'm supposed to learn French 7 years later. I still only know, je t'aime, mommy. And she only knows, I love you, Nikki. So I think
love is a frequency.
There it is. So that's what happens. We just get together and she loves me. I think if I learn French, I may step on her toes with some of my thoughts and ideas. So I actually, as I reason this out with you, my purpose is to go and serve the man I love and be the daughter-in-law and be a good, gentle woman and show up in that energy. And I'm excited to practice that.
I'm excited for you. And initially I kind of was like, why are you going? Because you were having some problems or whatever. And you weren't happy. There was a couple of times when you called me and you weren't happy. And that's normal for us because we're not going to be happy every second. I'm going to tell you right now, what our purpose is not to be is happy every single second. It doesn't say that anywhere in the Bible. It doesn't say that anywhere in the big book. It doesn't say that. It says our purpose is to be useful. We will find joy from within. And we will find contentment, but it's not about being happy and reaching some mark. So what I was getting to is that I'm happy that you're going and it fills up my cup, and also that you're unwavering from your commitment, because even though maybe one day you were deciding that it wouldn't be a great idea, but you have already committed to it, and that we need to set the example. We have to be unwavering to our commitments because that's the responsible thing to do.
Well, this is what your purpose is to follow through through on what you say you're going to do.
And this isn't from a spiritual high top, because as you're saying that, I'm getting a big remember when, like, following through was like unheard of for me. I did everything by the dictates of how I felt that day. So I could have had all of these plans. It could be something, it could be some concert ticket that was $2,500 that has already been paid for. And I'm literally like, oh, the U2 concert? No, thank you. I'm already 5 drinks in at the Four Seasons. Thanks. We're not going. Okay. So it's like, it's disgusting because it's wasteful, right?
Absolutely.
And so I am just so happy that there's a program and a design for living that tells me like, no, Jessica, the ripple effect of that is going to be like detrimental to your quality of life.
Well, it's just like your purpose. It's like you're having a bad time in your marriage and you made a commitment to stay and follow through on that.
Not go on Instagram and find an Instagram model to fantasize about and pretend that she's going to be the now perfect person.
Yeah, and throw her like $10,000 for pouring peanut butter on her toes. Like, how do I get this job? I mean, I've got dancers' feet. They're fine, but they're not the best. But these people are making $10,000 for a picture with peanut butter on their toes. Like, that's not your purpose in your marriage.
I used to have a lot of men sending me money that were married, and they really, really thought that they knew me and that somehow that I was superior to their wife. Well, yeah, you only see me for a very small fraction of the week. My mom used to say to me, like, you know, when I was in my early 20s, I dated a married man and he later became my husband. And that's a whole other story for another show. But I would say, Mom, like, this is what I'm doing and you can't tell me any different. And she would be like, that's fine. It's just that the grass isn't going to be greener, Jessica. You're getting the best of him right now. You're going on trips. You're having weekend vacations. You're going shopping. You don't live with this person. She's living with this person. She understands the ins and the outs. And when we actually got married, of course, the grass wasn't greener. It wasn't even anywhere close to being greener.
Never is. And that's why I keep saying, even Mr. Luxembourg, I'm never going to be with you again. I'm never going to see you again. And he says, well, that's not true. Yeah. That's just not true. So
that's like me and you saying that to each other. It's like, that's not true. It's just might feel like that in the moment, but like, that's just, we're going to be friends.
I know that we're attached at the side and I'm grateful for that. So, and I know my purpose is to be at this table with you and help others out of the hole. So I'm just grateful. I think that, is that it for today?
No. We're gonna have to edit this part out. Where are we exactly?
You're at 30 minutes.
Okay.
We're only at 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Fuck, this is hard. Okay, no, it's not. We're good. Okay, we're good. We have listener questions. Can we just do 15 minutes of listener questions?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, wait. Okay, so I'm really excited because people are sending in questions and people are...
That's what we need. We can't just sit and talk to each other.
No, I mean, we do that all day anyways. And I'm so grateful. Like, I want to mention a couple people. Like, a girl, Keely, reached out to me this week and she just said how much the podcast has been helping her. And I met her on this.
Wow, that's cool.
I met her on this night of like debauchery with these like people at the Hazelton. And she reached out and was like, I remember you from this night and I've been following your podcast and it's really inspiring. And that's that full circle thing. It's like, you might see us and not know us, but if you knew me before and you see me talking this way, that's a real revolutionary psychic change. Okay. And so I just want to thank the people that are like actually actively reaching out and like saying thank you for the podcast because this is why we're here. And so I have a couple of questions from that audience. Okay. So we have Melissa and she's...
Hey, Mel.
And she is 34 years old. She has a good job, a good salary, a good apartment, and she's not unhappy, but she feels completely empty. She feels like she's performing a life rather than living one. She doesn't know if she's ever done anything actually that means something to someone.
Ooh.
She doesn't know how to start, Nikki.
You have to start by giving back. You understand, like you have to start. This is the name of I love the rebranding of this podcast too. Fill me up. You need to fill up someone else. Because again, what is your purpose, Melissa? It's not, you see, the programming has been, and I love it because it's like, who programmed you? So your programming is, you need to get the car, you need to get this, and and we watch it all on social media. But your purpose is, a neighbor of mine, her mother died at something like 90 something. You know, she was a volunteer until the day she died.
Wow.
Like, this is serious stuff. What is your purpose? Because it's not just to get the Louis Vuitton shoes, to get like you said, you've had all that, Jess. You had all of it and more.
I
I
ended up in the rooms of Cocaine Anonymous.
There you go. And I've had it all. And I wound up in the rooms of Sex and Love Anonymous, in the rooms of Al-Anon, in the rooms of Coda, in the rooms of Cocaine Anonymous, because you guys let me in because I snort dicks, dollars, and donuts. And so long story short, Melissa, what is your legacy? When people, like they say, what's your epitaph going to say? What is your...
what are people going to say about you?
When you die? Oh, that you had a great apartment? That you had a great job?
They had great tits. I want them to say that still.
I say that all the time. I mean, I just like, that's why it's like, hey, older people, hang out with younger people and just admire their beautiful bodies. Cause I didn't admire mine when I had mine. It's like, I remember I'm Auntie Long Boob in my family. It's my native name. Go deeper though. Melissa, like people go, I love my job. No, you don't. That's all you know what to do.
That's not true.
You don't love your job.
What do you love about it?
There people go, I love my job. I love my career. No, you don't. That's all you know. That's all you know what to do. What if you were really given 8 hours a day to do what you love?
It wouldn't be that.
It wouldn't be. I'd be on my harp sometimes. I'd be in the garden. I'm learning there's so much to learn. I'd learn to grow my own food, but we don't get those opportunities. We get programmed into your purposes. You're a school teacher and that's what you're going to live and do and die.
So that brings me to my next, school teachers, forget about it. But they do get the summers off and then they have to live here forever.
Can you imagine that? What, like, this is the programming of the school teachers, but you get the summers off and you get your holidays, but you are in a classroom with these kids, programming them into a life of hell.
Well, exactly. So I actually had clients the other day looking for a rental apartment and they're a firefighter and a teacher and they can barely afford a $3,000 apartment. So riddle me that, because these are the people that are serving our country, teachers and firefighters, and you can't even get a $3,000 apartment to relocate yourself from Ottawa? Come on. What is this? What is this?
I said it early and I'll say it again. Fuck you, Canada.
So it brings us to our next question. So Matt from Toronto works in tech and he is asking, he goes, I have watched my colleagues get laid off because of AI tools. I know my role is probably next. So he's future tripping already. And I have defined myself by my career for 15 years.
Oh, that's the story of everybody.
I'm terrified, not just about money, but about who I'm going to be when this is over.
There it is. Your purpose. You've been programmed that you're Mr. Computer AI. You're Mr. Doctor. You're Mr. Car Mechanic. And if I don't have that title, who am I? Mm-hmm. Okay, where's our music crew? I love that song, Who Am I by Beanie Man. Like, who am I? You don't know that one? Put it on for you. You said you were black. Anyway, long story short,
anyone who grew up in Toronto is Jamaican.
Yeah, you're right. So we'll play that later. But here it is. Learn who you are. You've got to learn who you are.
Okay, what's the instruction? How do you do that?
Okay, you get to learn yourself. What do you like? Are you a dragon? That's what they say. Heal your inner child. Where's Adam when I need him? I said, Adam, we're filming in the house today. Stay out. And he was actually doing service on a meeting. So he had to go and do a meeting. But long story short, Adam told me recently, he's a dragon.
Okay.
Now imagine he's 50 years old. Just discovering that he is a dragon. Now, most people would lock you up. If you say that and they'll have you in Cam H.
Right.
But think about that. Who told him he wasn't a dragon? And I don't mean he's getting dressed up and breathing fire. He's remembering his magical powers. And this guy makes a lot of money doing what you're talking about on that damn computer.
Something with computers.
He does something with computers that he can make like $100 an hour, blah, blah, blah. You think Dragon Man's doing that right now? No, he's not.
He's one of the more free people. He travels all the time. He travels.
He's like in his car. He'll help grandma out. He actually was one of the only people that helped me move Auntie. And Auntie has 50 nieces and nephews. And he went with his F-150 and helped me move Auntie when no one else did. So why don't you
want to know who your friends are? Ask people to help you move.
Oh yeah. See who shows up, but go deeper. His name was Matt, right?
Yes, Matt.
Matt, why don't you see what you like to do? Like literally get into your child energy. Do you like to bake cakes? Like a grown man, maybe you're baking cakes. Maybe you
Do you want to take a comedy course like our friend Amal?
Whoa, do you want to find driftwood? I mean, I don't know if the camera's got the driftwood behind you. My friend collected all that driftwood from PEI, put it on a board. You know, if I went to Upcountry, it's a furniture shop down the street here.
Yeah.
That same mirror is $4,000. That was free wood found on a beach, hammered onto some plywood with a free mirror we found on the street.
The best things in life are free.
Do you see what I mean? Like, have you ever tried to make something, or are you just doing what they programmed
You're just
you to do.
working and consuming, working and consuming, working and consuming.
It's
Where
a
I
slave
want to blow
mentality.
my brains out too, right? Okay, next we have Sarah.
Did we give Matt a solution?
We gave him several solutions.
Yeah, okay, we did.
Sarah's in recovery and she is writing and she says this: I spent so many years just trying to survive that I never thought about purpose. Oh, that's relatable. Now that I have some sobriety, I feel this pressure to figure out what my life is supposed to mean, but I do not know where to start and it is overwhelming me. So that I can relate to because I was in survival. So I didn't understand what that meant because my life was the only life that I knew. But the feeling of
I'm going to go into it.
the feeling of being just in fight or flight constantly and then getting sober and then having people tell you that that's not what life is, there's a blank spot. What's the blank spot?
It's a parable, and I can't even tell you, or it's a proverb. It's one of these in the Bible. It's like, look at the ants.
Okay.
Okay? They all work together. There's no leader. So take that example of ants. They all kind of work together. And if you've ever seen I've seen this thing, and everybody Google it. You can pour concrete into like an ant house, and it's like comes out to be like this masterpiece mansion. That how do they design this thing?
Right.
They all work together. So we're here to all work together. I go to a Korean spa, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you're all naked in the Korean spa, and there's the showers and the saunas and all the stuff. And when you go into the change room, I'll never forget the day I saw it. The granddaughter was scrubbing the grandmother.
Oh.
You understand, they're naked there. They're just scrubbing each other, and like little monkeys how to do that.
Yeah.
You're here to help each other.
Here to
That's
be
the
of
only
service.
reason. And let's go deeper, because we are in a spirit world. This is the most exciting time to be alive. It's 2026. We came here to awaken people. That's why so many people are like, what am I doing here? I need to die. I want to go home to my planet. You're here to help each other.
So wake people up. Like if you're writing in and you're in recovery, you've already made a huge decision to get better. And there's people that, maybe there's people that are 5 years sober, 10 years sober, and they could help people. But sometimes somebody that's only a few days sober would be better helped by somebody who's only a few months sober, because it's a lot more relatable. Does that make sense?
Well, all of it makes sense, just helping people.
Yeah, like you're here. If you're here and you're seeking a solution, then you can help someone else that is even thinking about seeking a solution.
That's what it is. So if you're wondering why you're here, what is your purpose? Your purpose solely is like the ants, to help each other.
Right.
Animals are all together to help each other.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are the only creatures that don't help each other. Oh, well, Nikki, that's not true. Lions eat. Yes,
No, you step on each other.
They're helping each other in the animal kingdom because that's their food and da.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go deep into it, we're all really here to help each other, but we've been programmed. This goes so deep. The programming is so dark, Jess. Like we've been programmed to think that we're here to feel good and to be happy.
Well, and it's fight or flight, right? Like, and it's to your point where there's reprogramming involved. Like if this viewer is feeling like, what now after a lifetime of being on the defense and being in survival, it's like, be kind to yourself, because you didn't have any other option. Like where I came from, brothels and strip clubs and trap houses and clubhouses, and those
dysfunctional parenting, and it's not their fault.
And those were the decisions that I made, but I couldn't walk into any of those places and say, hey, I'm new here. Can you show me how to do this? No, I had to act like I'd been there before, so to speak. So that robs you of any kind of like whimsical, like, asking for help or trying to figure out things on your own. You basically are going in with a mask on already. So when you come into recovery at first and you have all these people out trying to help you and love you, it's not what you're used to. So it's like a new world. So you're trying to figure it out.
You said something.
Tell me.
Act like you've been here before.
Mm-hmm.
You've been here before,
You have
on
been
Earth.
here before on Earth.
You forgot. You've been I don't know what you were in your past life, Jess, but you were something magical. And probably before that, you were a Slav, a slave. Before that, you were some queen. Before that, you were a man before you were been here.
That's for sure. We've both been men for sure.
God,
We have bigger dicks than most people.
I've been a Viking. I know that. I've been some type of like gorgeous, hunky Viking. Oh, wait, don't let me drift off into fantasy land. I'm a dragon too, Adam. Okay, so that's what it is. We're all here with a purpose we've just forgotten. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to fill you up with the truth and remind you that you have purpose you've just forgotten. And your purpose is to help others. And here's a caveat: wanting nothing in return.
Wanting nothing in return. You're not here by accident. Your life isn't a placeholder. And you just have a message to carry. Like, you're here with us and we're going to get filled up together. We are going to do this together. I think that's it for today. Thank you for sending in your questions. Please don't hesitate to send in more questions. DM us, comment on Spotify, YouTube, follow, share.
Troll.
Goodbye.